Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. It's a Tuesday edition. Did you crush the Monday? Well, now it's time to crush the Tuesday. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and guess who's back? Not the hairstylist, no. Congress, yes, they're back to work for, a day, and then they're gone again. So Congress is back in session. The Senate and House reconvene by the end of today, which means that they can go have a wonderful 5-hour lunch. But the good news is that there's a lot of incredible positive spirit with stimulus going in the continuing resolution, which sounds like a supplement you take on the side, when you're a little incontinent. The continuing resolution, it's just, it's one of those strange names of bells. I don't know why they got this name, but the CR, which sounds like a Honda SUV, is up for a deadline, and that deadline is December 11th, and now they're trying to I guess you would say, like, shove down someone's throat some stimulus into the CR and saying, I'm putting CR in the stimulus, or, we're shutting down the federal government. And even better, I'm not giving you your stimulus check. I'm not giving you your salary check if you don't give us our stimulus checks. Oh, it sounds so delicious. It sounds very evil. It sounds like a very good, Real Housewives sort of scandalous moment. But the great news is that it's gaining traction. And now there's big belief that stimulus check, FPUC, PUI, student eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance eviction moratorium, PPP, and maybe some coupons to supercuts will go into the stimulus package of the CR and get them done by that deadline of December 11th, and suddenly we can have some progress and some stimulus over the holidays. Breaking developments, and this is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. The toast is toasted, the butter is buttering, and I'm here, you're here, and boy, congratulations to the viewers since last night that had real big success stories. One viewer got $20,000 in EIDL in a message they sent me last night. That viewer sent me a DM the day they applied, so I knew the day they applied. They said, I just finishing now. I think it's okay. I hope I'm okay. I said, go for it. Do just November 24th. And last night, just November 30th, they got approved, $20,000. Congratulations to them. If you've not subscribed, please do, because that's an example of what's going on this channel. I have other examples I'll be telling you in this video. I'm getting money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, and not a $500 Nancy Pelosi, stimulus check that doesn't do much of anything. I'm getting people big money, $20,000, $10,000, a lot of money. And that's the spirit of this channel. And now people have really sort of taken notice and realized, yeah, this is no crap. This is actually happening. People are getting a lot of money from this channel, and this is why this channel is here to help you. And the volunteers are absolutely incredible. The EIDL viewer did it simply by watching the videos and the EIDL recordings. The next example I'm going to use, the next story I'm going to tell you is from a viewer who got the help of the volunteers. So thank you for the volunteers for that story. Also, like the video. It really helps in the algorithm ranking. We've been doing really well on Early Mornings LALATE. On the side is a live chat. Yeah, if you're tuning in at 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're watching this as a live instant premiere. That means that the video is premiering and you can chat along with your friends and say, you know what, is it your way or the highway? And then you can turn to the other person and say, I saw you last night at the Casino. You were having too much milk again. But I'm glad you joined me. It's an instant premiere, and it's featured again at the 6:30 show at the bottom of the hour. It's an easy breezy broadcast every morning here at 6 o'clock and then 6:30. And with that, there's so much breaking this morning. Let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news as you sit here today is really the success stories overnight of this channel. In addition to that viewer who got $20,000 for EIDL, after applying on November 24th and getting the money in hand by November 30th. I mean, that's including Thanksgiving and a weekend. I mean, that is fast, folks. $20,000. Then there was another person who sent me a very kind message. If I recall correctly, the person got rent and utilities through the help of the volunteers upwards for, I think it was $10,000, and said, we generally live on about $1,500 a month, and this is an enormous sum of money. And I really greatly thank you and the volunteers for this. I hope that other people understand what's going on here. I hope that Congress takes this into consideration in understanding the impact that this is having. My response was, I wish that Congress would have made a bigger effort to inform Americans that this CARES Act 1 money is available for them to get, instead of talking about partisan bickering. Millions of Americans may have not been able to get this CARES Act money because they never found this channel. And I wish they had really made it more clear that this money existed. The viewer then continued to say that this is really going to alleviate some stress, give gifts for the family during the holidays, and that they were basically about, in this person's opinion, about 2 to 3 weeks away from being homeless. So that was a really nice success story. Another person from Kentucky jumped into the private messaging last night and said that there's a lot of utility help from Kentucky coming in. And the person wanted to make very clear to the viewers of this channel that Kentucky has utility assistance across the board, in all the different utility divisions, and with the community action groups are really stepping up and really helping people in Kentucky. So I got a ton of questions about Kentucky and all the Purple Power Lives. Meantime, thank you for joining me yesterday, Monday, on a special edition of Holidays LALATE Live and then Purple Power Live. Meantime, let's turn to that CR, that continuing resolution that's due by December 11th. There's new incredible progress and belief that the stimulus package will get into the CR. Now, ultimately, it depends on a lot of factors. One is the news reports saying that it's going to happen true. Second is Mitch McConnell going to go through with this incredibly delicious strategy move, which is to put what he wants in stimulus into the CR and tell Nancy, either that or I'm shutting down the federal government, because that's the alternative to the CR. The CR is a continuing resolution. It funds the federal government. It's done every few months. The purpose of the bill is to pay for the operation of the federal government. And when there is no agreement on the bill, and it has happened in recent years, then the federal government shuts down until the bill is reached. And it forces the parties to negotiate until it is reached, and then it's passed. And when it's passed, the federal government reopens. So the severity of not reaching agreement on the bill is instant. The instant impact is that congressional leaders do not get paid. Post office does not reopen. Things don't get paid. And certainly there's an inauguration around the corner. So a lot of things could get shut down. And ultimately, the taste of them not getting their salary checks because they couldn't give us our stimulus checks is just delicious. I just love it. It's better than some coffee with some bacon on the side on early mornings LA. So the deal provisions would likely involve a stimulus check, likely involved another round of FPUC, but at a lower amount, like $250 to $400, another round of an extension of UI, an extension of PUA, another round of PPP short term, and then some student loan repayment moratorium, eviction moratorium, and foreclosure moratorium. Those words are just a lot of stuff to say. What's incredible good news is that a lot of people think this is going to happen. And ultimately, you need to push the narrative. Go on social media, take this video when you're done with this video, and take the video right after this at 6:30, and tag McConnell. Tag McConnell's communications director, who doesn't have 90,000 followers on Twitter, has, 5,000, 10,000. They'll see every single tweet you send him or her, and tag it with hashtag CR for stimulus, CR, the number 4, stimulus. And make it very clear, Mitch, send out the stimulus in some CR. It's emergency stimulus. It's not totality stimulus. Meantime, the $2,400 for SSI and SSDI, that would not be in this. This that would come after. Hazard pay would not be in this. That would come after. But ultimately, this is the type of relief you need. as to use that example for the viewer at the top of the hour that got the $20,000 and how this would change their holiday season, imagine people who equally would get $6,000 or $7,000, how it would change their holiday season. Let me do the math for you. September retroactive FPUC at $250 a week, even that bad number, gives you about $6,000 in just FPUC. Then you would get a stimulus check on top of that, $1,200. So that's $7,000 for just a single person who's unemployed. Imagine a husband and wife that are both unemployed. Then they would get double that, $14,000. Imagine if they have 2 or 3 kids, then, 1, 2, 3,000 on top of that, $17,000. You see how these things sort of add up very quickly. So ultimately, what's important to know is that you and I are focused on numbers. We're not focused on grammar, which is that other woman. And, when you look at these numbers, if you throw in 10 weeks, 12 weeks of something retroactive, and then you throw in a stimulus check, and you throw in someone else's stimulus check, and you throw in money for dependents, and you throw in something for adults, then suddenly you can get the number running pretty quickly. I mean, here's an example. $1,000 stimulus check, which no one wants. I mean, that's just taboo. But $1,000 stimulus check for a family of 5, $5,000 check. Bam, right now. So that family of 5 that's really struggling during the holidays, even a $5,000 check for 5 family members, that makes a difference. Then when you add on anything else like unemployment or FPUC or any type of additional assistance, and you ensure they're not evicted because of eviction moratorium, all really good news. So that's why you need to push the narrative, and I'll have updates all throughout the day on that CR for stimulus, and I have another update about the numbers in the video right after this one. So now let's turn to the CARES Act 1 money. I want you to get this money, so that's why I want to really focus you in on this. What's important to understand is that this is your money. The money is available. It's available in every state. I think that at this point, having started this, I think we're into, I started on not last Thursday, but the Thursday before that. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm into this almost about 12 days. And so in those 12 days, I mean, we've gotten about $300,000 for viewers because I've made it very clear where this money is and very clear how to get this money. Let me go over it again. You're going to focus on your city hall, your county hall, your state housing authority. That's all I want you to focus on for government. City hall, county hall, state housing authority. Then the utility companies. I want you to reach out to your utility companies, every single one of them. Then I want you to also consider your religious groups and your political action groups. If those things I just described to you do not work out for rent, those groups that are identified by my volunteers, they know them. Then I want you to reach out to all your utility companies, each single one of them. And when you do that, you're working on rent, then you're working on utilities, and then you're working on food. Ultimately, if you get rent or utilities, continue to food. Or if you just get utilities, if you have problems with rent, go to utilities, and you'll get utilities. Everyone's getting utilities. And the money people are generally getting is several months of rent. And then they're getting stuff on top of that. Then they're also getting stuff like space heaters. Someone got yesterday a tuition grant, so his tuition was paid for. That's totally new. And finally, if you're having problems with any of these things, reach out to the volunteers. They're an incredible group of people. There's 9 of them, and they're just absolutely salt of the earth. I want you to treat them with respect. Don't treat them in any way other than a family member. And their success stories, if you find success, tell them back that you had success. So I appreciate when someone tells me the success, but also go back to the volunteer and say, "Hi, volunteer, I got this. Thank you for your help," because that helps someone's pride of work. You feel like you've achieved something when you get that success. Next, I want you to consider escalated benefits and EIDL. Both of these things are big number items. I mean, they're big number items. I'll give you an example about the viewer who got the $20,000, which I started with. I can tell you exactly what they probably had. If they got a $20,000 EIDL in less than 4 or 5 days, that means they had about $40,000 2019 Schedule C income, and they did not have very large cost of goods sold. So, they could have had like $45,000 with $5,000 cost of goods sold, because it was 45 minus 5 is 40, divided by 2, 20. I'm telling you, we all know the calculation. It's it's revenue minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. So if they got $20,000, they had probably about $40,000 in gross revenue of 2019. And they understood it was declared in the correct place on their Schedule C or on their corporate tax return. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know this thing existed. Go get it. Again, EIDL is not a thing that gets much publicity. It's very rarely talked about. PPP is just talked about all the time. And EIDL is a great instrument. And so that viewer now has $20,000. Please also do escalated benefits. What's important to understand is that some of these things apply to a lot of people. And what's important to understand is that there's one thing that my finger is doing. And that finger is deleting any comment where a person says, there's nothing in the entire state of delete. I mean, this is just now 12 days into this. You now know that's just not true. You now know that every state has something for everyone, whether it's utilities or rent or food. And ultimately, if you're having problems finding something, we got it. We're here to help you. But don't say there's nothing anywhere, because ultimately what you're doing is just saying to yourself, I'm giving up, and I want other people to give up because there's nothing in the state. I looked and I know it. Well, you're wrong. Sorry to tell you. It's not your way of the highway. You're wrong. So delete. With that, join me at 6:30 at the bottom of the hour as I unfold and reveal more great success stories overnight. So excited for you. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay focused, and stay in that life more.